Welcome to rSlash Am I the Butthole, where OP's friends try to convince her to commit insurance fraud. Am I the butthole for not claiming my friend's mistake on my insurance? I'm a 26-year-old woman, and my friend from college, also a 26-year-old woman, moved into the same apartment building with me. She lives in the floor above mine. One weekend, she put me, along with a bunch of our mutual friends, in a group chat because she wanted to have a barbecue on our roof. She's hosted many of these before, but this would be the first one I ever attended. Because I don't eat red meat, I didn't eat anything that was cooked on the grill, and only brought chips, a bottle, and paper plates. When the day was over, the group of us went downstairs to watch a reality show. My friend who lives in my building and the girl who owned the grill discussed that they would leave the grill to cool off. Once the reality show was over, I went back to my apartment and went to sleep. The next day, everyone in my building received an email saying that there was a fire on the roof last night because someone dumped coals in the trash can on the roof and they relit due to the wind. I took a screenshot of the email and sent it to my friend, who then put it in the group chat of everyone. Her and our other friend, who owned the grill, told us they decided to take the grill home the same day because they didn't want to have to come back and get it the next day. So the girl in my building gave the grill owner her keys to go get the grill on the roof, and the grill owner decided that it would be the best thing to just toss the coals into the trash can on the roof. Our building requires multiple key taps to get on and off the roof. And they also have cameras, so they immediately told my friend in my building that she was responsible since it was her guest using her keys. A week later, my friend came to me and asked me to put it on my insurance since she nor the grill owner had renter's insurance. I spoke with a few lawyers and my old insurance agent, and they all said this would be fraud. So I told my friend that I didn't feel comfortable doing so. Another week goes by and she asked me again because she believed that she would have to go bankrupt over the situation. She did not. I again said no because I didn't feel comfortable and reiterated that I was told this would be fraud. From then, she started to run a smear campaign, saying that I was the bad friend, and all of our friend group stopped talking to me because they said that I should have at least tried to put it on my insurance. They now all want me to apologize to all of them and work for their friendship again, since they believe that I was in the wrong, but I feel like I didn't do anything wrong. I'm glad that everyone in OP's life told OP that this was fraud because that was the advice that I was going to give. But then the crazy thing to me is they have all this evidence, rock solid evidence of camera footage of the woman dumping the coals in the trash can and logs of the key card being used. And also OP went around asking all these legal officials, hey, is this fraud? And everyone says, yeah, this is totally fraud. So she definitely can't commit fraud after that. This friend basically wants OP to risk, I don't even know, probably tens of thousands of dollars in fees, possible jail time, a criminal conviction, just to save this lady a couple of $100 in repair costs. And then just on top of it not being OP's fault, they deserve to suffer. Dumping burning coals into a trash can? What do you expect? OP, I'm giving you 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving your doofus friends 2.5 out of 5 buttholes. Maybe more, maybe like 3.5. She could have burned down the building, potentially killing people with her stupidity. Am I the butthole for saying that my brother-in-law and his future wife can't sleep in our bed while we host them on their honeymoon? I'm a 35-year-old woman, and my husband is 36. We're fortunate enough to live in an area of the world that's very beautiful, and as a result, frequently visited for honeymoons. My brother-in-law, who's 30, and his soon-to-be wife, who's 28, are getting married in August and want a honeymoon in the area where my husband and I live. And they asked around a month ago if they could stay with us on their honeymoon. We agreed. They're family, and they're also tight on funds. We're happy to help and host them. However, they asked my husband last week if they could stay in our bedroom on their honeymoon. We have a 2-bedroom home, and our guest room has an air mattress that is used for when friends and family stay. My brother-in-law didn't really get into the specifics of why they didn't want the guest bedroom or the air mattress, but the gist seemed to be, we don't think that an air mattress is honeymoon appropriate. When my husband asked me about it, I was honest with him and said that I wasn't comfortable with his brother and new wife sleeping in our bed on their honeymoon. My husband agreed with me. Apparently, us saying no to this request has caused some issues in my husband's family, particularly with his sister, who's saying that we should just let the brother-in-law and his future wife stay in our room, as it's their honeymoon and they shouldn't have to sleep on an air mattress. We love everyone in this scenario, especially the brother-in-law and his future wife, and we don't want to cause a rift. So my husband is sort of leaning towards acquiescing to their request. However, I am not down to change my mind on this. It honestly really grosses me out because I believe that the reason they want our bedroom is so that they can comfortably bang during their honeymoon on a regular, not air mattress. Gross! This post is gross! Why would anyone want other people to come and sleep in their bed? Why would they want to sleep in your bed and screw in the bed that the guy's brother screws in? Gross! Yucko! I have a brother. I don't want to bang in his bed. I don't want him to bang in my bed. I want us to bang separately in separate houses, separate beds. It's really weird to ask for permission to sleep in someone else's bed with the expectation that you're going to bang in that bed. This is weird. These people are weird. OP, you get 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving your weird brother-in-law 2 out of 5 buttholes. You know what's honeymoon appropriate? A hotel room. Am I the butthole for not telling my sister the name chosen for my unborn son because she used her best friend's baby name for her daughter? My sister and I are both pregnant. This is her second child, my first. We're both having boys. When my sister had her daughter 3 years ago, her best friend was pregnant at the same time. My sister complained for 8 months that they didn't have any idea what to name my niece, and then all of a sudden she had a name right before she gave birth. After my niece was born and her name was announced, my sister and her best friend started fighting. The best friend said that was the name she had chosen for her baby girl, and my sister used the same first and middle name for my niece, and she couldn't believe she'd do that. My sister says it's first come, first serve, and she needed a name badly, that her best friend had time to find another name. My sister is due before me, a few weeks before, and with that in mind, I don't want her to do the same thing to me. And she has asked. Nobody knows we're having a boy except me and my husband, and we plan to keep it that way. But my sister has asked what our boy name is, and as an afterthought, she asked for our girl name too when she realized I knew what she was getting at. I refused to tell her. She tried to whine about name sharing being the fun part of pregnancy. I made up a couple of names on the spot to tell her, and she saw through it. She told me to just tell her the name, and I said no again. She asked a few more times. She even asked in front of our family. It was our brother who joked, "Nobody should tell the baby name thief the name they've chosen." My sister got upset and asked if that's why I wouldn't tell her. She told me I was holding something against her and that she never did that to me. Mom asked why I couldn't just share the name, and everyone would know my husband and I chose it first if my sister used it, but I still said no. Am I the butthole? OP, your sister sounds like a piece of work. I'm on your side here. This is an easy 0 out of 5 buttholes. Even if she wasn't a name thief, it's completely up to you to decide if you don't want to name your baby right now. There's also a lot of cultures and societies that have special rules about naming babies before they're actually born, so I think this is super reasonable. OP, you get 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving your sister 1 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole because my husband will invite his family and friends over without telling me until that day? He then expects me to clean, run to the store, and prep and cook everything. I finally just decided to leave the house the last time he told me because I only had 4 hours until their arrival. He canceled. The thing is, his family is constantly judging and talking about each other. So when he says, "It doesn't matter, they don't care," I know and he knows that he's full of it. Also, it's not just tidying the house. We're not regularly stocked in food or drinks to have people over. When I got home, I asked what he was planning on having for dinner, and he responded, "I don't know. I guess it's good that they aren't coming over anymore." Now he's sulking, saying that I'm the problem because I can't go with the flow. I've told him multiple times I just need a couple of days' notice to get things in order, but he insists that I'm just difficult, uptight, and uncooperative. Well, if going with the flow is so easy, then why don't you do it? It's so easy, right? You don't want to be uptight and uncooperative, so just go to the grocery store and cook for your own friends and family. Why do you need OP to do it? God, these people, these hypocrites. OP, 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving your hypocritical husband 1 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole because my parents are forcing me to pay for my brother's grad school using money they never told me about? I'm a 30-year-old woman, and I've been financially independent since graduating college. I worked practically full-time while studying, recently paid off my student loans on my own, and just started saving to buy a home. I didn't apply to grad school because I couldn't afford it, and my parents made it pretty clear growing up that we needed to stand on our own after high school. My brother, who's 22, is honestly a genius. He worked really hard in school, got a full academic ride to a great state school, and graduated with honors. I'm so proud of him. The problem now is he recently got into an extremely prestigious grad program that would open a lot of doors for him. He was hoping for scholarships or a paid internship to cover most of it, but it's not enough. Now he's facing tuition and housing costs in one of the most expensive cities in the country. My parents asked if I could help out and suggested I contribute around $15,000 to get him through the first year. They'd match it and he would take loans for the rest. I said no. I've been working for over a decade on my own goals, and I'm just starting to save for a house. I don't feel comfortable putting that on hold, especially when I had to turn down opportunities because there was no help available to me. During the conversation, my mom got frustrated and said they'd be using the other fund to help him instead. I asked what she meant, and she said that they had set aside about $25,000 for me back when I was in college, meant to be used at a future wedding. I was completely blindsided. I had no idea that fund existed. I asked why I wasn't told about it when I was considering grad school, or now while I'm saving for a home. She said it was always intended for a wedding, not school or property. And since I haven't needed it, I'm not engaged or in a relationship, they decided to give it to my brother since he has a more immediate need. I'm not gonna lie, I was pissed. I never got a chance to make a case for how I could have used that money, and now it's just being handed over to someone else. I told them I felt hurt and left out. My mom said I was being unfair and that the money was never promised, and if I didn't want it for a wedding, then it made sense to use it for something meaningful. My brother told me that he didn't know about the wedding fund either, and he understands why I'd be upset, but he said that he didn't ask for it. He just wants to go to school and thought that we were all trying to support each other. I know my brother worked hard and isn't trying to take anything from me, but I can't help feeling like my parents are punishing me for being practical. So there's nothing inherently wrong with the parents giving money to the brother because it's their money, they can spend it however they want. However, it is a bit buttholy to give money to one sibling and not the other, because that's just the definition of unfair. Also, people in the comments are saying it's a little sexist that the boy gets the money and the girl doesn't, which I can see the argument for because also the parents set aside the money for the girl's wedding and the boy's education, which is a little bit telling of the mentality here. Regardless, I think the unfairness is enough for a butthole score. OP, you get 0 out of 5 buttholes, you're just a bystander basically, but your parents get 2 out of 5 buttholes for being very unfair. Am I the butthole for making my sister's gender reveal cake gray because she wouldn't tell me the gender? I'm a 23-year-old guy and I bake as a hobby. And I'm actually pretty good at it. Like, I get paid under the table for weddings and baby showers kinda good. My sister is pregnant and wanted me to make the cake for her gender reveal. Cool, no problem. I asked her to send me the info so I could prep the inside, classic pink or blue filling. She says, "Oh no, I want to be surprised too. Just make it neutral for the reveal and we'll all find out together." I was like, huh? So you want a gender reveal cake with no gender revealed? She says she'll have someone email the information to me later. That someone never did. The deadline comes and I still have no gender. So I make the cake. It's gray inside, gray outside, just full-on cement vibes. I even added a little fondant cloud for effect. It still tasted great, but visually grim as hell. The reveal day comes, they cut into it, and my sister looks pissed. Her husband is confused. People start murmuring. Then she pulls me aside like, why would you make it gray? That's so passive aggressive. I calmly reminded her that no one told me the gender. I literally had no data to work with. I told her I wasn't about to guess or go full improv on someone's baby cake. Now my mom says that I embarrassed her in front of the family and that I should have tried harder. Tried harder to do what? Summon the gender through vibes? So, am I the butthole for making the most neutral reveal cake in history? For clarity, I actually did follow up. I asked her a couple of days before the reveal if the info had been sent, and she just said something like, yeah, someone's taking care of it. I figured it was handled. I didn't want to pester her since she seemed chill about it at the time. OP, obviously it's not your fault that you didn't get the information sent to you, but it seems like you were trying to make a message or kind of, to be honest, you were being passive aggressive because it sounds like you made this cake look like a tombstone almost. So I think you were trying to effectively punish your sister, I guess, which does make you a butthole. I'm giving you 1 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving your sister 0.5 out of 5 buttholes for not giving you the information. That was rSlash Am I the Butthole? And if you like this content, check out my podcast where I publish the exact same episodes. Also, hit that subscribe button because I put out new Reddit videos every single day.